Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to another episode of Project Vilnius. My name is Colibris and today's episode is going to be a little bit different than the rest of the episodes. In this episode I will be giving you a Vilnius city review in live mode. Let's call it Progress Report Episode 1 Part 3.5. So that means that in the future there is going to be more episodes like this where we are just talking about things and that's all. So today we're not going to build anything. Today I will be just explaining things what I have done so far in the past 2 months during this project, how I have done it, what techniques do I use to recreate everything as precisely as possible, and all the small details in general. But first of all, what I want to say, it's a huge thank you to all of you who showing an amazing support on this project so far by commenting below the video, pressing a like button, giving nice feedback and suggestions. You're really keeping me inspired and motivated. It is so much things that I want to talk about, and I'm actually worried that I will miss something or I will forget something to say, but I hope I will cover everything. So basically, probably you are asking what the hell Project Vilnius is about, why it's called Project Vilnius, and let me answer that question. So Vilnius is the city where I live, it's my hometown. I have already mentioned that in the previous episodes, but just in case you missed that. And Vilnius is the capital of Lithuania. Now you're probably asking, what and where the hell that Lithuania is located? What is it? Well, some people know, some people don't. Lithuania is located in Central Europe. And the fun fact, our state is exactly in the center of Europe. Worldwide, or to some people, we are known as the Baltic states. And in this project I am trying to recreate my city because I think that Vilnius is a really beautiful city and everyone should visit it at least once. Also, the main reason why I'm doing this is because the City Skylines game is just brilliant. You probably already know because you're here. You can build wherever you want here. The level of realism this game provides is mind-blowing. But enough of that, let's move to the actual deal and start talking about the city. Once that being said, let's hop into the save game. The first thing I want to say that it is so strange and yet so amazing at the same time to see everything so similar to the actual city, because every day I'm driving through all of those roads. For example, every day I'm driving through this road, this is kind of the same road, and through all the business district and downtown, which is not built yet. About that later in the episode. It is so satisfying to watch at this, and oh, we have fire over here. The thermal power plant is burning. If you have an opportunity to buy this game or to play this game, definitely you should, because in this game you can build pretty much anything you want. So okay, moving on to the actual deal. So okay, the first thing from where we should start reviewing the city is the first thing what we have built in the series. So I think it's this district. This is a small district, this is a small residential district, mainly with Soviet-style high-density residential buildings. They're looking something like this, and the special credit to all the developers who detailed those buildings. You did a really great job. They look so similar, they add so much to this whole place, and the kind of Vilnius city is all about those Soviet buildings because they look so amazing. And all those districts which you can see over here, for example, and many more districts which is not built yet, was built in the late 70s, I think, or the early 80s. So yeah, districts are pretty old, but they're looking amazing actually. I like it. Probably you're going to hear me repeating myself a couple of times, but I will say it again. And to kind of place those old buildings and to lay out the roads and shapes, I have used a Google Maps. So I have watched a Google Maps actual kind of map and kind of placed all those roads, calculating all the proportions and the buildings where they belong actually to, and yeah, every single building I have placed by hand, and it's, believe me, it's a lot of work. It's super a lot of work, but I don't regret that. It's looking amazing so far. And what comes to the detailing, in this area I tried not to actually detail too much, because usually in those kind of courtyards or yards in general, we don't have pretty much anything besides some maybe parks and parking lots, or maybe some paths and I don't know, some flower like pots. So yeah, that's what you can see. For example, over here we have some kind of paths, and mostly it's just trees in those courtyards. Obviously it lacks some places, for example like here, to add some kind of lacks some kind of foliage, so we need to fix that and add some trees and maybe flowers and whatnot. So yeah, but basically most of the yards we have only kind of parking lots, maybe some like playgrounds inside of the kind of big block of the buildings, kind of in the middle of the yard of the big block of the buildings. I don't know if you can understand this. So yeah, some parks maybe, and mostly, as I said, it's just kind of paths and maybe sculptures, for example here and there. For example, in real life there is, in this kind of area, there's like a small park, so we have sculptures, for example here, well, in all this kind of park we have sculptures and some playgrounds. So what I want to talk about the Vilnius symbol. And the creator of this asset is actually contacted me on, well, he's actually commented on one of my videos on this project, and he was super happy that kind of someone started to do project using his assets. So what I want to say, that I have never seen anything so much detailed as this building. Let's be pretty sure this building is not kinda not like everyday building, what you can see in every city. He has some personality, this building, and needs kind of special, I don't know, developing some skills or something like that. And this guy is actually done a really great job. So he was happy that someone is using his assets. I'm happy that someone is creating those assets for kind of this specific city, because we can see a lot of buildings, a lot of skyscrapers, which you can fit pretty much to any city. But for example, those kind of buildings which has a kind of special shape and I would say special history, those buildings fits just for kind of those projects like we're doing here. So once again, I want to say special thanks to that one guy who's creating those amazing assets. Thank you. Moving on to the other districts. So this is the second district I have built. Well, it's actually the second district. It's the first, the separation of the first and the second district is happening about over here. So this is kind of the second district. It's a bigger district, as you can see over here. Even though this district is not finished yet, it's going to be expanded towards that direction. If I can remember right, but I think yeah, towards that direction. This district is pretty much finished. It's a final result what you have here. It obviously lacks maybe one or two buildings on this side and maybe some roads. But that will come when I start to kind of developing this area. So yeah, in this area it's pretty much the same as the first district. I have tried to not detail as much. As you can see, I have added some playgrounds and, for example, tennis courts. Even though it's not existent in real life, it's a thing. It's a basketball course, but I have added tennis courts, so just to break up some kind of shapes and add some variation. As you can see, for example, here is a football course, here is kind of school. So yeah, and the principle, how I have built it, it's pretty much the same. I have used a lot of mods to kind of achieve that look, and I used a lot of mods to kind of clip buildings through one and each other. For example, let me see, for example, over here you can see, oh, it's a dead person in here. For example, here you can see this building is clipped inside of this building, so it kind of creates that kind of shape, which is the main shape of those kind of buildings, those districts. This theme going on here. So yeah, I have used a lot of this kind of technique to achieve kind of those looks, those blocky looks, because those old districts, those old buildings were kind of built almost at the same time, and those buildings were built by blocks. So for example, they were building, for example, all those buildings, for example, this whole square at the same time, then this whole square at the same time, and all those districts. And for example, this all the same time. So yeah, I think you got my idea. And I really like those kind of higher buildings because they break up kind of the skyline. They add some really nice kind of feeling that this is a city, not only kind of low buildings, even though it's kind of 5 or not 5, even though it's 9 or 12 floors, those buildings, but they are looking pretty low considering this building size. So yeah, and it looks kind of actually really cool. I love those higher buildings. So yeah. For example, in this area we have some offices, even though it's not existent in real life how this is looking over here, but I yet again, I just tried to add some variation to all the buildings and try to match the kind of the looks of it. So yeah, and in this area it's not too much detail, some parks and paths and pretty much the foliage all over the place. I have tried to add some more foliage and some more details to the more opened courtyards. For example, as you can see, we have kind of picnic, I don't know, kind of gazebo or something like that. Yet again, kind of playing grounds, some basketball courses. Those, by the way, are existing in real life, so I have added just kind of to match their reality, I guess. And yeah, it's not, I guess, not much what to talk about in this area, because it's, as I said, it's pretty much the same as the all other district. And yeah, but I think I will say it again, it looks pretty cool. I like it. And moving on to the second district, well, it's third district. So this district is a really expensive district. In this district is living a lot of kind of wealthy people, and mainly in this district there is a lot of kind of luxurious houses. Wealthy houses. I would say, for example, you can see over here there is, I think, embassy. I don't know which country, but there is an embassy, and for example around it very luxurious and modern houses, so for example for over here. And obviously it's left kind of some those older buildings which have built first many years ago. And in this area we have a hospital, and I don't know, it's a shopping center, I guess. I can't remember that. I'm not being that often in this area. But yeah, this area is mainly for the wealthy people, because you can, for example, you can see here there's a lot of kind of private houses, not those kind of buildings, not those high density buildings. In this area we have some industrial buildings, industrial offices, I would say, and some kind of small companies in general, I would say. In this area we have kind of extension of this district. This district is pretty much all one district. As you can see, in this area it's mainly newer houses, kind of more modern houses, and even though in real life this area is empty now, but it's now being built by kind of those houses. And even though I have tried to make those buildings look the same as they are in real life, I mean of the building's shape actually, so they will be looking like something like this. So for example, in this area we have a huge shopping center, which is third by the size, I think, in Vilnius, so that's cool. In those areas we have I think school and kindergarten, and some more residential kind of private houses, offices, and a really nice big office. So moving on to the business district. And by the way, this kind of roundabout is one of the biggest roundabouts in Vilnius, I think, or maybe it's the biggest roundabout in Vilnius, or I think actually this roundabout is biggest roundabout in Vilnius, even though it's looking smaller than kind of this roundabout, but in real life that roundabout is bigger than this roundabout. So I have made my mistake and made kind of this roundabout bigger than that roundabout. Well, it's just because this structure I have built first thing ever when I started this project, so I didn't really knew the proportions what I'm going to pick actually for all the roads, and yeah, that's the thing actually. So yeah, moving on to the business district, we have some office buildings, we have some community kind of buildings, some, I don't know, small businesses in here. We have a bank, we have a really nice residential building which we call an arch, mainly just because it's kind of it has a shape like an arch. It's built like an arch and it's getting higher by steps. For example, you can see over here, and in the Steam workshop I have found a really nice building kind of back, which you can see over here. I really like those buildings, so I decided that those buildings is going to go in this area, and they fit just perfectly, I think. Even though this is not kinda the perfect arch kinda shape, I think I will tweak that because it's some kinda offset at some places, but in general it looks pretty cool. Here we have a university, then a huge residential building, a huge skyscraper in the business district, and the main kind of building in the business district, which all the magic happens, I guess. And some other buildings, a Vilnius municipality over here, and some buildings being under construction. So in this area is going to be, I think, another high building. And so yeah, and old church. It's not looking in real life like this, but it's an old church, so I had no choice just to pick that and place it here. And yeah, in this area there has to be an European buildings actually, but I have messed up some kind of settings and mods, so those buildings were demolished and they kind of rebuilt itself like the normal modern buildings. So I will fix that, and those buildings will be kind of European buildings. So yeah, and by the way, talking about the messing up at some things, the reason why I haven't uploaded a single video in the past 2 weeks is just because my game was crashed. Actually, it was crashed badly, and I have tried pretty much everything just to fix that. So I have posted a few posts to Reddit. I have written a lot of letters to all different YouTubers who play City Skylines, just asking for help to help me to fix that game. And I really want to thank to all the Reddit community and the YouTuber named Strictoaster. He's an amazing guy, and he helped me through Twitter messages and giving us some advice how to fix that. So really thankful for him, and you should definitely check out his channel. He's doing an amazing job. So yeah, once again, thank you. This building is being under construction right now. That's why I have added some construction kind of materials and cars over this area. And yeah, in this area it's mostly kind of shopping centers and small businesses and warehouses, for example, like you can see over here and over here. And yeah, yet again I have tried to kind of clip a lot of buildings inside into one and another, just to achieve that kind of feeling that this is a really kind of big structure, even though it's clipped maybe 7 or 8 buildings into one. But I think it's looking really great and kind of gets that feeling that this is a one building actually. So yeah, and this is kind of the center of the city. I really love the looks how it's looking, even though it lacks some details. For example, on this area it lacks a helipad, it lacks a pedestrian bridge over this area, which is going to lead to the downtown. And downtown, I can't wait actually to start building downtown, and I really love downtown, and I'm driving through it every day. And I think this is going to be a really hard project, building this whole downtown, because I want everything to keep very detailed and very pretty much recreated on scale 1:1. So this is going to be a work to do actually. But I can't wait, and I'm really looking forward to start building downtown, because without building a downtown I can't start actually expanding towards or other areas, because for example this area is going to be extended towards that area, is going to look something similar to this area. It's going to be kind of those residential districts, Soviet style residential districts. This is going to be downtown, as I said, and for example in this area is going to be yet another district. So yeah, I can't start building those districts since I haven't started doing the downtown area. So yeah, that I need to work, I think, right now. And moving on to the latest building, what we have built in the previous episode, if you haven't seen it yet, so I gladly recommend you go and check that out. We built a thermal power plant, which is the building which I am the most proud of. As you probably know, in this area we have some kind of water treatment plant. I don't know what it is, but I have seen it just kind of through the Google Maps, and I have tried to recreate that. I have tried not to, well, I haven't added too much details to all this area. I just tried to add a lot of greenery and foliage and grass and something like that over this area. And we have some old, those kind of Soviet style kind of industrial buildings, factories, I would say, which is, I think, controlling all the kind of thermal power plant. And in this area I have tried to add a lot more details to this whole area than I've tried to add to the other places. For example, as you can see here, it's very detailed, and all the kind of cracked concrete textures and kind of those boxes and oil barrels. So the main thing what Vilnius City Thermal Power Plant is doing, it's produced heat energy to keep people, I guess, warm at the winter time and not on the winter time. As the side effect, it produces kind of power. So that's why I have added those kind of, how they called, electrical substations over here. And I think it's looking pretty cool. And some more details, warehouses, containers, and fences. So yeah, and even though I think that the city is looking really cool, even though it's far from being finished, but we have a start, we have a really great start, I would say, and I would really appreciate if you could show some support on this whole project. What we are doing over here, because it's a special project, I think, not for me but for all Lithuanians and Europeans, I would say. So yeah, I'm so sorry if I kinda missed something to mention. Maybe you can kinda remind me in the comment section below, so I will try to kinda explain to you in the comments. And something like this. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to continue building this city, and as I said, your inspiration is the key, so don't stop doing that. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed the video, please destroy that like button, leave some nice feedback in the comment section below, subscribe if you haven't, and click that little bell kind of icon so you will get notified when the next video will come out. And once again, thank you so much for your support, and yeah, I guess I will see you next time. So Colibris over and out. Goodbye.